Hello, and in today's video we are doing predictions for match week number 6 of the 2021-22 Premier League season. And what is the theme of the week this time around? I'm feeling a little bit of Derby Day. That's right, it is Derby Day in the North London Derby and the M23 Derby. Let's get our teeth into it. And the theme of the week is that. The song of the week, though, is going to be a little bit of Derby Day, in fact. What a surprise. And that is, of course, sung by none other than Cheeseburger. What a cracking little name for a singer. Cheeseburger with Derby Day. Wow. What an absolute tune. You just can't really say that's a bad one. Like, it's just a banger. And yeah, it's a good one. So I got so excited. I was enlightened on Derby Day. Under the bleachers, the paupers and the preachers, they want to take us away. But what, my friends, is the phrase of the week? This is the new edition that's replaced the colour of the week from last season. The phrase of the week is clear as mud. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm not often that clear with my videos. But also, if Watford or Newcastle, who play this weekend against each other, lose, then they're in the mud, so to speak. Because it is a very interesting start to the relegation battle. Watford, we know, all we want is 17th or above. And it's going to be a bumpy ride. But we got a massive 3 points, massive confidence booster against Norwich. And hopefully we can take that momentum forward and win again against Newcastle. You boys, come on. But let's get into the video. And first of all, we'll look back at how we got on last week. So, yeah, alright, it wasn't the most amazing thing from me, really. I could have had better weeks. I certainly have had better weeks than last week, but you know, we're not going to dwell on it too much. We're just going to quickly recap how that one went. Of course, don't forget, once my video has actually got to the right pace, show some pace, because you gotta have pace. Yeah, don't forget, it's 1 point for the correct result. 3 points for the correct goal difference. So say you said 5-1, and guess what? It was 4-0. And then, of course, it is 5 points for the correct score. So, last week, thanks for those that did comment on the video. But I counted up the predictions made by the regular commenters, basically. And by the way, thanks for the support on the channel. 110 subscribers is amazing. Great stuff. We've been getting loads of views recently. 1.4k for that Norwich review, and that was brilliant. Of course, 589 for the Wolves matchday vlog. Let's hopefully get another good amount for the reaction to Newcastle, which will be coming out on Sunday. But also, it was amazing, that Deeney video. 3.1k views was a record-breaking stuff for me. So, loving that, really am. But yeah, last week, alright, you know, we had a few shocks in there, didn't we? Like, I think most people did pretty badly in week 4. But we did put in our caption, didn't we? You know, score predictions, let's go, and Ronaldo on fire. Possibly more joy for Sadio Mane against Palace. And I don't quite believe it, but he's done it again. What a record. He breaks the individual scoring record against the Eagles, and they must absolutely be sick of the sight of him. But we move into the new week. But back on last week, the current predictions table after match week 5. In first, with an impressive 13 points last week. Not bad, but still pretty solid. It was Douglas. So the Dugout Football Channel, well done, mate. You are top overall with 57 points after a correct score in that Manchester United game and the Arsenal game that they had against Burnley, so fair play. I am still in second, Roberto the Hornet. I was awful last week, 5 points and no correct scorelines, so I really need to get a bit more consistency. But we have got correct scores before this season. Leicester game against Wolves, Wolves game against Manchester United. There's been a few more, I think, but we need to get back at it, really. So 46 points overall. So it's not ideal stuff, really, is it? But, you know, we're not going to get too panicked at this point. Still a long way of the season to go. 11-point gap is what I've got to make up. And in third, We've still got Footy Tom with 15 points. So make sure you do get your predictions down this week. And also Pav Kapoor with 12 points overall as well in 4th. So let's get into week number 6 then, shall we? This is, of course, a few weeks before the first international break of the season, which will come after match day 7. And at the end of the day, this is a very interesting round of games. We kick off things with two 12:30 kickoffs, which we don't often see. But first of all, it's Manchester United versus Aston Villa. And Ronaldo is on brilliant form. He's scored in every game he's played for Manchester United. And it's just a wonder that he gets these goals because it doesn't feel like they're supplying him. You know, Luke Shaw has been a bit dodgy recently. And there's not been that many crosses successfully done by Manchester United. But he just finds ways to score. He gets in those positions. And he's just so alive to the situations. And you could just back him to score against anyone. But Aston Villa, he's got a very good record against. And, you know, he's going to be obviously loving the crowd at Old Trafford. That could have a part to play. Villa did look really good against Chelsea, I've got to say. And then, obviously, blew Everton out of the water, really. And fair play, Leon Bailey is back in the groove for his new club. So, will he start? I think so. Will he contribute for a goal? I don't think so. I think Man United defensively have had a few issues. Varane's still taking a while to get properly into it. But, you know, this Villa team, they haven't had the best of seasons. They aren't the goal-scoring team that will always be consistent. And I think United can keep a clean sheet. So Manchester United 2, Villa 0 is what I'm predicting. With one from Ronaldo. And the second one for Manchester United, I reckon, will come from Luke Shaw. He's got the attacking threat, as we saw in that final of the Euros. Now, it's going to be the game between Chelsea and Manchester City. What a spectacle this is, my people. That, my friends, is what you call a 6-pointer for the title race. Now, I do think that this is like the game you can't miss, pretty much. It's like one of those must-watch games. These two are going to be probably your closest challengers for the title this season. Chelsea look amazing, scoring goals with now Lukaku in there, and they still keep clean sheets. And they looked really good in that game in midweek, obviously in the Carabao Cup up against Aston Villa. But it's crazy when you think some of their players don't get the minutes they do. Some like Timo Werner, who still can score goals, just needs confidence. And Reece James, what a delivery for that goal. But ultimately, Chelsea got so many options, and this is a big game. So I'm going to say that Chelsea do, in fact, lose, but I think it'll be very, very tight. I can see Lukaku on the score sheet. I can see Gundogan on the score sheet. And I can also see Raheem Sterling on the score sheet, likes a game against Chelsea. But we're going to go for Chelsea 2, Man City 3, and Gundogan to get the opening for Manchester City, Chelsea to hit back through Lukaku, and then the second goal for Chelsea I think will come this time from none other than Kai Havertz. So then Man City make it 2-2, and that comes from, of course, who is it? You know it's Sterling. And then the third goal for Manchester City, I'm going to go for a little bit of, yep, it's in midfield. He's pretty much solid every single season. It's Kevin De Bruyne against his former club once again. Now, Everton v Norwich, and I'm backing a 2-0 Everton win because it's Everton. Alright, they did lose last week, but Norwich are in really low confidence, no points, still no signs that they're going to not get relegated this season. And I think away from home, that's where they've been struggling. Everton obviously defensively have been struggling as well without Jordan Pickford in the team. And Luca Digne did score in midweek in their 2-2 draw with QPR, but of course they won that game in the previous to the Villa game. But to lose, to QPR really is a bit of a embarrassing thing. When you think about their squad strength, that was decent for the lineup. They have to win in this game, and I think they will. 2-0 to Everton. Goals coming from Damari Gray and Andros Townsend. And I wouldn't be surprised to see another Decore assist in there. Now, Leeds v West Ham. I'm backing a West Ham win just because West Ham look more threatening than Leeds right now. I hate to say it. The Leeds fixtures coming up are really good, so they can get other chances for points. But, they just look leaky, Leeds. And West Ham look like they could score goals. Obviously, they played quite well despite not having Antonio against Man United. And Benrahma got a lucky goal. But he also saw West Ham beat Manchester United in midweek. Manuel Lanzini with a rare goal. And, West Ham just look very confident right now. Will Antonio, though, slot straight back in and go back to the form he was before he got that suspension? We will find out. But I think it will be the game of strikers, certainly, with Bamford up against Antonio, Rafinha up against Benrahma, and some good goalkeepers in there, Meslier and Fabianski. So I'm backing a West Ham result, but it could go the other way. Leeds 1, West Ham 2. Leeds to score through Patrick Bamford. But then the goals for West Ham, I think, will come from a little bit of Aaron Cresswell. And then the second goal for West Ham United, I'm going for it. It's a little bit of Thomas Souček. Now, it's Leicester versus Burnley. This is an interesting game, and I've gone for a bit of a shock prediction. Leicester 1, Burnley 1, because I just wasn't impressed with how Leicester have been playing the last few weeks. Obviously, you know, I think they're kind of getting to that point now where they're not really fit to go. They have a lot of injuries. But against Brighton, I did think they would win that game. They looked quite slow from the off, and they did get the goal from Vardy, as usual, v Brighton, but they just didn't score soon enough, and they were just a little bit lethargic. And I think Burnley, alright, they have had a poor start to the season. They're one of the favourites, rightly, for relegation with that kind of squad. But they didn't play that badly against Arsenal. They had chances, they just couldn't convert them. So I think Leicester shouldn't play this one down, but I'll see Burnley just nicking a point. 1-1 here, and the goal for Burnley coming from Chris Wood, who I do believe used to play for Leicester. And then the goal for Leicester, let's go for a little bit of Tielemans. He does usually score v Burnley. Now it's Watford v Newcastle, massive game. It's a 6-pointer, of course. We say it again like the Norwich one, but you know, off the back of Norwich, you have to carry the momentum going. Newcastle are not in a good place right now, and the fans are going to protest at Vicarage Road against Mike Ashley, but we just have to focus on ourselves, get the job done, get the win, and hopefully it will be good stuff. So I'm going for Watford 3, Newcastle 1, and the opening goal of the game I reckon will come from Ismail Assar. Who else? The absolute beast. That is Ismail Assar. The question is, can I remember what minute he would score in? I don't think I can, but that's a shame. Oh no, I can. Relax. So he'll get the goal on 13 minutes, and then we get our second through Joshua King, who looked really good against Norwich, really good movement and assists there. 41-minute goal. Then we go into 2-0, half-time, lovely stuff. But then their threat that we have to really be really tight to on Saturday, Alan St-Maximin, he's pretty much all they've got going up front, unfortunately. He is very good, though. Very good flair player. 53-minute goal. That puts the pressure on. But on 79 minutes, we seal off a fantastic win. Our second 3-1 of the momentum of the week. And it's going to be a goal from Emmanuel Dennis, 79th minute. Bullet header. He loves a bit of those. So that is my prediction. But, you know, Newcastle, obviously, they are the sort of team that we can go up and lose against. I just really hope we don't. Now, Brentford against Liverpool. This is the Sky game. This is quite an interesting game. But I think it could be very much a Liverpool comfortable win. I know Brentford were good against Wolves, and they do look like a decent Premier League team. And, you know, fair enough, Ivan Toney is back in form. But I just think Liverpool are too strong right now. And obviously the Palace game showed that. So 2-0 to Liverpool is my prediction. Jota to score and make up for his missed chance against Palace. And the second goal for Liverpool, who else but Mohamed Salah, who whipped off the shirt last week in jubilation for his 101 Premier League goal. Now, Southampton Wolves, Sunday, it's Super Sunday action, and this is a tight sort of game. Both teams haven't been scoring a lot of goals, and actually Southampton have kept much more clean sheets than Wolverhampton Wanderers. But Wolves were very much hit in the face against Brentford. They thought, oh yeah, our season's up and running after their win over Watford. But no, it looks like we just gifted in that game because they were poor against Brentford. And I still back Southampton in this game. They've kept consecutive clean sheets against the likes of West Ham and Manchester City. Really good point against them at the Etihad. And Wolves just haven't been scoring goals. So I can see this being a tight 1-0 Southampton win, with the only goal of the game coming from a little bit of Che Adams. And finally, the last two games, Arsenal v Spurs, big one, of course. Will North London be red or white? Could it be Ben White who pops up with a cheeky little goal? I don't think so, though. I think Arsenal will win the game, but they won't make it easy for themselves because I think they have the home support. Spurs might be the favourites despite losing 2-3-0 on the bounce, but Arsenal are in form, and you've got to say that their performances haven't improved. But can they do it against these big teams? That's always the question. Arsenal 2, Spurs 1. Spurs actually to score first in this game. And I think it will be, once again, a player who's looked really good at the start of this season. And it's got to be, isn't it? Son Heung-min. And then for Arsenal, the goals, obviously, I think Arsenal have had a bit of rotation recently, but they have a quite settled back line with Gabriel and White in there. So their defence is going to be solid enough. But another man in that defence who gets forward is Kieran Tierney. He'll get the equaliser. And then Arsenal get their second goal with a rare goal from Lacazette. He usually does turn up for the North London derbies. And I think he'll come off the bench and get the winner. Now, Palace v Brighton, another derby. And it's two teams that don't really like each other. But it's a bit of an odd rivalry. Not that intense. But it's still a rivalry on Monday Night Football at Selhurst Park. The atmosphere will be rocking, of course. Despite Liverpool beating Palace last week, it was a good performance from them. Guaita making loads more saves. And, to be fair, Edouard had chances when he came on. Did he deserve to start the game? I don't know. Should he start this one? Possibly. But I still think that Brighton, despite their performance v Leicester, will be just not strong enough to get this win. So I'm saying Palace 3, Brighton 0. And the goals coming here, I think the first one will actually be a bit of an unlikely one. But I guess he has been putting in good performances. It's Gallagher. And then the second one for Palace, I'm going to go for a little bit of Wilfried Zaha. And the third one for Palace, who else but Odsonne Edouard. And that is my predictions for match week number 6 of the Premier League. Scorers, scores, the lot. Get your score predictions down in the comment section below. And come on you Horns, week 6 predictions done. And I shall see you next time.